Greetings. This is the one you've known as Jesus the Christ. The openness that spiritual seekers have toward new information is both a blessing and a curse. It allows them to expand into territory beyond their conditioning and beyond the conventional. Spiritual seekers are often on the forefront of new technologies and healing techniques and breakthroughs because they hunger for new and interesting ideas. Their openness serves them and likely serves their soul's purpose, but it also makes them vulnerable to falsehoods and manipulation. Where many seekers go wrong is thinking that facts can be verified by their inner knowing. They can't. Your inner knowing isn't designed to tell you if something is factually true or not. It's designed to tell you if something is true for you or not. This is an important distinction. You can't tell if a conspiracy theory or any other type of unverifiable information is true based on an inner knowing. If you're believing something is true or false based on an inner knowing, what you're really doing is basing this belief on your feelings. But feeling something is true doesn't make it true. Feeling something is true is blind faith. You're believing something without proof. An inner knowing is experienced as an intuition, an inspiration, an attraction, or a yes. Your inner knowing is trustworthy guidance from a trustworthy source. However, it's guidance for you. It's not a truth meter. It informs you of what to do in relation to something or someone that's showing up in your present moment experience. It points you towards something or someone, or away from something or someone. You feel attracted to pursuing something or someone, or repelled, and you don't know why. It may be that pursuing something or someone will lead to an answer you've been looking for, or it may lead to something else of value for you, or it may deliver some lesson you need, which might not be so pleasant. This personal guidance is very helpful in relationships. You feel attracted to or repelled by someone, and that usually determines whether you spend more time with that person or not. Being attracted to someone doesn't necessarily mean he or she is the man or woman of your dreams, although it could. It just means that there's some purpose in getting to know that person better. Who knows what that purpose is? That purpose may have nothing to do with romance. Maybe that person will introduce you to someone else you need to meet, or tell you something you need to know. Or maybe that person is there to help you see something about yourself that you've been avoiding. Or maybe there's karma between you. Or maybe you made a pre-life agreement to help that person in some way. Attraction to something or someone doesn't necessarily mean the result will be what you want or expect, but it will be what you need, what your soul needs. This is the guidance system you've been given. It always brings you what your soul needs, and you never know initially what that is. Inner knowings are not so obvious and don't always point in a straight line, but everyone is given knowings that can be trusted to be in one's highest good. These come from the spiritual heart and ultimately from those tasked with guiding you. They come out of the flow when needed and no sooner. They're a moment-to-moment guidance system, so to catch them, you have to be present. You never know where these inner knowings will lead, and you don't have to. With this guidance system, you don't need to know the future, and you don't even need to know if something is true. You only need to know what's true now for you to do in relation to something or someone. Following your intuition is like following breadcrumbs. You don't know where the nudges and intuitions will lead until you do. Life unfolds, and you don't get to know where it's going. You'll find out when you get there. This takes trust, and the ego doesn't trust this way of being. The answers to what you really need to know to live your life are given to you intuitively through the spiritual heart, your connection with those guiding you. Sometimes channels and psychics are able to tune into this for you and lend support to what you intuitively know to be true for yourself. If something they say rings true to you, then that information may be helpful. Those who use their psychic gifts to help guide people in their lives, rather than tell fortunes, are doing good work. This is the right use of these abilities. Another good use of these skills is bringing through spiritual teachings. Those who do this are likely to be connecting with higher dimensional beings, since lower astral beings are rarely interested in teaching anything for long, and what they have to teach will be limited or misleading. However, some channeled teachings do have falsehoods mixed in with them, which makes such information particularly tricky. Just be careful about accepting channeled information that is unverifiable. Hold such information lightly. Spiritual teachings don't generally fall into this category. The truth is self-evident and opens the heart and leaves you feeling relaxed and at peace. I'm not saying there isn't a place for psychic abilities, but cautioning you about how you use those who have these abilities. What kinds of questions do you ask them? Are your questions coming from a desire to align with your divine self and soul's plan, or are they coming from your ego? Let this be your guide. And if you, as a channel or psychic, are catering to people's egos by fortune-telling or adding to conspiracy theories, then it's time to question who you're in contact with. By their fruits you will know them. Higher dimensional beings teach, heal, support, encourage, and transmit a higher vibration of energy. They don't generally forecast the future or tell people what's going on secretly behind the scenes. On the other hand, lower astral beings traffic in things such as these that are not verifiable. Thank you for your openness. Thank you for being here. I am with you always.